He's fruitful to everybody but himself when it comes to the word, because he doesn't live his wisdom. All right, and we have to make sure that we're not being shallow or mocking birds. No, we're living our wisdom, man. All right. Once you know better, you do better. Knowing is half the battle. All right, but the way you finish the battle is by doing what you know.
Kahalo Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah Bahasham Rakah Kodash. It's the brother of Baal Kabar, prophets in Babylon, Tampa, Florida. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do indeed teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. All right. Living thy wisdom. All right. This is a video from the elders, the Hob, Spirit Wind Judah. Go ahead and subscribe, watch the video. It's a quick 3-minute video, but man, this video was very edifying, straight to the point. And he was going into how, we have to apply the word, man. You have to apply the wisdom that you have obtained in this truth, man. Okay, don't be the guy that watches 1,000,001 videos. You know all the breakdowns, but you don't apply wisdom to your life, man. The biggest battle we're fighting is a spiritual battle that you have to apply the words. It's one thing to know a scripture. It's a whole nother level to apply the scripture, man. All right. And that's what we all need to focus on more, is applying the word. Okay. Applying the scriptures, and the title of this lesson is what? Do not hide thy wisdom, unprofitable to thyself. You don't want to be unprofitable to yourself, man. All right. So I'm going to play this video one more time. We'll get into the scriptures. Lord willing, it's edifying to the hopeful elect.
He's fruitful to everybody but himself when it comes to the word, because he doesn't live his wisdom. All right, and we have to make sure that we're not being shallow or mocking birds. No, we're living our wisdom, man. All right, once you know better, you do better. Knowing is half the battle. All right, but the way you finish the battle is by doing what you know.
All right. So to win the battle, you got to do what you know, man. All right. And that's very true. You have to apply the word. Knowing is only half the battle. Saying you know this or you know that, you can go into the breakdowns, you know all the deepest mysteries. That's only half the battle. Now we have to apply the scriptures to our life, man. That's how you bring the W home, man. Okay. You get the W, get the win. Okay. By applying the scriptures, man. All right, and that leads me to my first scripture. All right, this is Ciroc 37:19. It says, "There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself." So you got a lot of Israelites that are, wise. They'll be so, quick to watch 1,000,001 videos, or, even brothers that do 1,000,001 videos, right? They're wise and they teach many, but yet they're unprofitable to themselves, man. All right, and that's one of my greatest fears, is to, have taught this word and got the fruits of understanding, but not being able to use the wisdom to apply it to my life. That's a fear, man. And I pray Yahweh Shai Shai, allows me to apply the wisdom that I obtain in this truth to my everyday life. Simple things. Brothers get so caught up in the mental battle, the spiritual battle, that you forget to apply some simple wisdom in your everyday life. Just when you walking down the street, you might have to apply some wisdom, but you're so caught up in your head, or your spiritual battle, you forget the battle that you're actually fighting in this life, in this world that we're in. Okay, this everyday battle that we are in, that sometimes you got to be grounded, man. You got to be grounded and understand that, the wisdom that you get mentally, you also have to apply it physically, okay, in this life that we live today. All right, it says, "There is one that is wise and teaches many, and yet is unprofitable to himself." So we don't want to be unprofitable to ourselves with this glorious wisdom that we have obtained, man. All right, you want to apply the word as much as you are, eating the word. When you watching the videos, you're eating, you're getting all the spiritual understanding, but it's a whole different battle when you apply the scriptures. That's a whole different realm of understanding. It's one thing to be able to, watch a quick video and say, man, that was a good video, all praises. It's another thing to apply that video or apply those scriptures in your everyday life, man. Right? It says there is one that showeth wisdom in words and is hated. Why is he hated? Because he doesn't apply the wisdom that he speaks. Okay, there is one that showeth wisdom in words. So you got guys that sound, great teachers, great videos and all of that, right? Showing wisdom in words and is hated. It says, he shall be destitute of all food, for grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom. Right? All wisdom. Okay, not just wisdom in watching a video, but also wisdom in applying the scriptures that you heard from the video. Okay, in your everyday life, the real battle is what you go through every single day. Now the spiritual battle is part of that. You fighting your spiritual demons, what you go through throughout the days. But another part of that is actually applying the wisdom in your everyday life, your everyday obstacles that the Lord puts in front of you. The Lord puts things in front of you in the flesh that you have to conquer, okay, through the spirit. But you have to take action, okay. Your actions are going to be, through the spirit, but it's going to be, according to this life that we live today, man. All right, and you have to apply the wisdom that you have obtained. All right. Going to Ciroc 37 and 22. Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth. So another is going to be wise to himself, meaning you get the word, you apply the word. All right, and the fruits of understanding, this man's understanding is commendable. Okay, you can add unto it. Okay, you're very open to listening, because that's part of this truth too is, brothers are set up, you got leadership that are set up to guide and lead, all right? And the wisdom that's coming from the leadership should be very, what's the word? I actually just dropped the scripture in the chat right here. Easy to be entreated. Okay, easy to be entreated. When wisdom comes down, wisdom is easy to be entreated. Okay? Let me go to the blue letter for that. Easy to be entreated. All right, here it is.
2138. You pie face.
It says good for persuasion, i.e. compliant. Okay? So, a man that has true wisdom or wisdom in itself is, easy to be entreated or compliant. Okay? Easy to be persuaded. Wisdom to a wise man. When you have a wise man, he is easily going to be persuaded by wisdom. All right? That leads me to the scripture, James 3 and 14. It says, but if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. Okay, so, true wisdom is not to be bitter, not to have envying, not to have strife. Okay? It says, for where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Okay, so we are not to envy one another. We are not to have strife towards one another. Okay, because that breeds confusion. Okay? It says, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Okay, and a man that knows all the breakdowns and is wise in words but doesn't apply it, that's a hypocrite. All right. You don't want to be a guy that's out here telling people to do this and do that and, be wise, but you yourself are not wise. Okay. We don't want to be those guys, man. We want to be the ones that, are teaching others to be wise while we ourselves are teaching ourselves to be wise. All right. It says, "And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace." And so at the end of the day, true wisdom is peaceful. Okay. So, I also want to grab this, without partiality. Let me go to the blue letter for that real quick. Without partiality, let's see what that says.
87. Adiakritos.
Okay, without partiality, it says ambiguity or uncertainty, undistinguished, unintelligible. Okay, so impartial. So this wisdom that we obtain, we have to have a full spectrum of it and be able to apply it in our everyday life. All right. So let me go back to the scriptures that I got written down. This is Ciroc 20 and 30. It says, "Wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up, what profit is in them both?" All right. So if you hide in wisdom, there's no treasure in that. Meaning you're not applying it. Okay. You're not showing forth that wisdom. "Better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom." You don't want to hide this wisdom, man. All right. And sometimes, we tend to do that unknowingly. You so caught up in your mind, the mental battle, that you forget to apply the scriptures right in front of you. All right. It says, Ciroc 41 and 14, "My children, keep discipline and peace." Okay. And I also recently did a lesson, with Lord willing. You can check the lesson out, brothers that are watching. That was going into, to be the Lord's disciple, you got to have discipline. And actually that word disciple comes from the word discipline. All right. "My children, keep discipline and peace, for wisdom that is hid and a treasure that is not seen, what profit is in them both? A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom." Right. So you want to, like the elder Zahab said, you want to be able to apply this word, man. All right. And that's an everyday battle. The Lord's going to set up different obstacles in your life to where now you have to apply that scripture. It's one thing to know it. Say, wow, man, that's a good scripture. Man, I watched that video last night. It was a good video. It's a whole nother thing when the Lord sets an obstacle in your way in your everyday life in the flesh that you have to conquer with the wisdom of the scriptures. Okay. By applying the scriptures. Right. That's a whole nother spectrum of this truth, man. Okay, that's a whole nother level of wisdom, is actually applying the word. All right. So yeah, I'm not going to make this too long. I'll close it out with the brother's video one more time. And we'll give all praises.
He's fruitful to everybody but himself when it comes to the word, because he doesn't live his wisdom. All right. And we have to make sure that we're not being shallow or mocking birds. No, we're living our wisdom, man. All right. Once you know better, you do better. Knowing is half the battle. All right, but the way you finish the battle is by doing what you know.
All right, so with that, live thy wisdom. Don't be unprofitable to thyself. It's an everyday battle. Obstacles are set up. Satan has desire to sift you. So brothers, apply the wisdom. Okay, turn to Yahweh. Understand that this thing, you can't be so headstrong sometimes, man. You gotta ground yourself. Understand sometimes the battle is right in front of you, and you gotta apply the scriptures. All right. So with that, Lord willing, is edifying to the hopeful.